What's going on, everybody? This is Jay from Maji, and Jay today bringing you guys what you've been waiting for. This is the review video of the Asus Zenfone 2. This phone, as we already know, was released at the beginning of this month, which was in March, and it was about 2 weeks ago, and I was able to get it quite fast. I got it from the website ebay.com, and the seller was Port23, and the link will be provided down below for those who want to check it out. The seller is quite responsible and shipped it very fast, and I got it within 2 days because they chose FedEx Express. However, FedEx Express, it is not going to be free, so unfortunately you guys are going to have to pay about $25 US in order to get it faster. But if you ask me, I think it's 100% worth it. Here we're going to get started with the physical aspects of the phone and also the handling in the hand. What we got on the front is a 5.5 inch, it is a 10-point multi-touch screen with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. It is an IPS OGS display and also has a new technology called Pixel Master, which allows you not to see the pixels on the phone, even though it is a 720p display. The viewing angles are tremendous and the colors are very nice and vivid. And we also got a mode on this phone, which we're going to be talking later, that allows you to change the vividness of the screen, also the color temperature, and so on. But here we're going to get again started with the physical aspects. Here we can see on the top you're going to have the ear speaker. We also got the Asus logo. We have the 5 megapixel sensor camera, which I think is amazing. And then here on the left side we're going to have the notification LED light together with the proximity and light sensor. On the bottom we can find here that the back key, the home key, and the menu key have been switched. At least the back key normally is on the right side and the menu key is on the left side. So they have inverted it. Sometimes that could be an inconvenience because it takes quite a while for you guys to get used to it. As a matter of fact, at this point I'm still not getting used to it. Sometimes I press this thinking that it is the back button and then I can create a mess. On the left side of the phone, we got here no buttons whatsoever, and we can see that by the edges this phone is actually quite thin. It's about almost 7.2 millimeters thick. By the middle it's going to be a lot thicker, especially here from the Asus, and the screen is going to be almost 10.3 millimeters thick. So it is a very thick device, and that's because we have a huge battery of 3000 milliamps. On the top, you're going to find here the power button together with the 3.5mm headphone jack together with the noise cancelling microphone. Now the power button is on the middle this time on the top, and I have to be honest with you guys, it is quite uncomfortable. Also, I don't know if it's going to be this particular model that came with a small defect. The button is very hard to press, so sometimes that can actually make your hand a little tired, and reaching to the top can cause your phone to actually drop and you might break it. On the right side here, we can see we don't have any buttons whatsoever. And then on the bottom, you're going to find here the main microphone together with the charging/data port. Have in mind that this phone is also going to support OTG. And now on the back of the phone here, we're going to find a 13 megapixel sensor with a dual LED flash. Now this camera is great on low light conditions. I was able to test it from inside of the house, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures later on in the video. As a matter of fact, they have been provided down below in case you guys want to check them out. Now here the volume rocker has been adopted, I would say, from the LG G2 and the LG G3, which sometimes can be a little bit inconvenient. It takes, I would say, like 2 days or 3 days of using the phone in order to get used to this, especially if you're coming from a phone that has the volume rockers on the side. This sometimes can get on the way, and sometimes you can actually press it accidentally because most of us grab the device like this. So without noticing, you can press the buttons as they are quite sensitive. Here by the middle we have the Asus logo, and then on the bottom here we have the Intel logo. That's because this device has an integrated Intel Atom Z3560. It is clocked at 1.8 gigahertz and it is a quad-core processor, 64-bit. Now the processing power on this phone is quite amazing, and you guys are going to see that it is handling very well. Here we have the loudspeaker, which again has a tremendous and nice quality to it. This, to be $229 guys, without question, is going to be one of the best mid-range phones of 2015. Now here we can actually open the back. We're going to notice that this phone is a dual SIM by device, and also supports TF cards up to 128 gigabytes, as we can notice right here. The battery is integrated. Unfortunately, we cannot remove it, but it is a 3000 power milliamp battery, and I was able to get great battery life on this phone. I would say more than 1 day. And it is obvious to say that I do use my devices quite a lot, especially when I'm doing tests. I do GPS tests, Wi-Fi tests, 4G tests, and so on. And this phone did last me more than a day without having to charge it. I was able to use it a full day with hard usage, and then the next day it died about, I would say, 1 o'clock. The phone did require some charge. So here we can see also, guys, that the build quality of the phone is very nice. It doesn't squeal whatsoever when you press it hard. Now the speaker, as we can notice, is on the left side. So sometimes if you guys, let's say, have the cover on and you cover this side with your hand, you guys are not going to listen. The speaker quality very nice. That was a little design flaw right there by Asus, I believe, in my opinion. And here we can see that the grill is actually pre-covered on one side, so the sound mostly comes from this side. So you guys have to be extremely careful when handling the device. I would say just grab it by the middle and try not to cover this right here because the sound quality can decrease. So here we're going to be talking now about the operating system. This phone carries the Android Lollipop 5.0. It is scheduled to receive an OTA for 5.0.1. Right now it's carrying 2 GB of RAM, but out of those 2 GB of RAM, it has a leak inside of the system where it's giving us less RAM than it is supposed to, which could be sometimes an inconvenience because I did notice a bit of a lag sometimes when opening certain applications, especially playing games. However, this phone is getting right now OTA support from Asus, and I did have also another problem here with the messaging application where every time I tried opening the keyboard, it was delaying about 3 seconds, which looked like a lag, but it wasn't. It was actually a bug, and that has been fixed already. Now here, what I like about the Android Lollipop 5.0 is the notifications. Here we can see, guys, that it gives us 2 options just to view all the notifications that we have received, such as messages, emails, and whatnot. We also got here some quick toggles for the flashlight. And now talking about the flashlight, it is quite impressive on this phone. As we can see right here, it is super bright. It covers pretty much the entire room. Every time you guys get on low light conditions, it's going to give you great picture quality because of the flash. I think it's very powerful. I would say more powerful than the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. So on that behalf, I was quite satisfied when it came to the flashlight. Now here, if you dropped it down one more time, here it's where we're going to find all the toggles supported on this phone, and we have quite a bunch. The first one we got here is the flashlight itself. We got here boost mode, which is going to kill unnecessary applications that you have open in the background, allowing you guys to have a little bit more RAM available. We also got here the calculator toggle, and then we can see all the ones that we have supported. We have quick memo, which quick memo actually works quite well. It is very impressive. Here I'm just going to say, let's say YouTube. You're going to see that it types it the exact same way that you do it, and there we can see it. Let's type here hello. Now sometimes using your finger can get a little bit confusing, as we can see right here, and it doesn't look as good. So I would recommend that you guys use maybe a stylus, purchase it separately. You can acquire it from eBay and whatnot, because using your finger is going to create a bad handwriting. As you can see right here, guys, it looks like I am a 4-year-old learning to write, but that's not going to be the case. I have actually very nice handwriting, and I am not able to do it on this phone. And now moving back here to the toggles, here we can also find some other ones. We got Wi-Fi, we have auto rotation, vibrate mode. So all the important ones that I would say that are very crucial here for the system are already located on here, but you guys can also add some more if you wish to do so. If you go here into settings, we can see that we can actually add some more, like these are the ones that are installed, and these are the ones that you can actually add. We have airplane mode, we have a smart saving, we have balance mode, hotspot, and so on that we can actually add into this. We even have glove mode on this phone. So all these widgets can be added if you guys wish to do so, which is something that I think is quite cool. And now here we're going to jump into settings. The settings application on this phone is quite impressive. The first one we're going to have here is easy mode. Easy mode allows you to view everything in big blocks, making it a lot easier. The word says it by itself. Everything's going to be very simplistic, and as we can see, nothing appears to be disorganized on here. This is a great mode for those who are beginning with the smartphones or beginning here with Android. This is going to give you a lot better simplified version of it. As we can notice right here, this is very nice and cool, guys, and again, you can customize it the way you want to. To disable it, all you do is just go back here into settings, then you go into easy mode, turn it off, and that's going to be pretty much it. We also got other options. We also have here send motion, which I saw down here. Send motion is the same as gesture wake. So if we enable it, we can actually double tap here to wake up the screen. We can use the letter W to launch the browser, the letter S to launch the messaging, and so on. And you guys can also customize it. So let's say we put the phone on sleep mode and we type the letter W. It's going to take me here directly into the web, as we can notice right there. And the letter E is going to take me here to disable, I think, some applications and whatnot. The letter C is for camera. That's a very common one. So let's go ahead and type here the letter C. And we can see that right now it took me directly into the camera. Now, every time you do this, guys, it's going to vibrate. that means that you successfully have completed the gesture. If you don't, then the phone is going to still stay asleep. And now here we have the power management option as well. Now I think that this is going to be mostly useful for the 1080p version and also the one that has the 2.3 GHz processor. That's because, guys, this is only going to be 720p and it already carries a 3000 power milliamp battery. It is a 64-bit system, so we know that all that in combination is going to help us save a lot of battery already as it is. So we don't need to sacrifice power or performance on this device to just save battery. But here right now I have it on optimized mode, and we can also put it on ultra saving mode. This is in case, let's say you guys are camping and you don't have a power supply, then it is recommended. It's going to last you at least 3 days if you put it on ultra saving mode. It's going to decrease the processing power and also the brightness on the screen. Now in this particular case, I'm going to turn it off and you guys can see how the brightness actually got a little bit brighter there. And that's because right now we don't have any power saving whatsoever. And again, the battery is handling very well even without it. The next option we have here is users. On users, we can place it on guest mode and we can open multiple ones. You can also customize it and name it, let's say, with different names. Let's say if you have a guest mode for your daughter, you can just put your daughter's name or a family member's name, whatever you guys want to do with it. You can block certain applications so that they cannot be able to see it. If you want, again, to protect your privacy when people are borrowing your phone or they just want to play with it and so on. This is a great feature to have, and it was first introduced by the LG G2 and the LG G3. I think this is amazing and it does protect your privacy quite well. Have in mind, like I said before, that this device is going to support OTA. So that means over-the-air updates. So every time you guys want to check it, you can go here into About Device. And going here into About Device, we can see that yes, this is the Android 5.0 Lollipop. Now here, all you have to do is just tap on System Updates. You click on Check Updates and then it's going to check them, or you can have it to where it checks it automatically. I would say every 2 days or 3 days. And right now I don't have any updates, but I have so far gotten 2 OTAs on this device, which fix actually some bugs that we had. And now here I'm going to jump into the languages supported on this device. That way you guys can determine if this phone is for you. According to your country, this is the international version. And as we can see, many languages are supported. It does support up to 52 languages. And we can always download them as well if you guys need to do so. So this is a very nice feature about this phone. I would say that this is a complete budget device, guys. I am very impressed with the performance of this phone. As I mentioned earlier, this is one of the best devices that I have come with in a long time. As a matter of fact, I did review the Asus Zenfone 5 and that was a nice device, but this one actually went a little bit above and beyond, if you guys ask me. Also have in mind that I'm getting 4G LTE support here in the USA. As we can notice right there, I'm getting 4G LTE with at&t and also T-Mobile. Now the speed test here inside of my house, it is not the best. Where every time I go outside, I do get a better speed test. As a matter of fact, here we're going to go ahead and check the application that I use. It is called Speed Test, and it is a very good app to determine what kind of speed you guys are getting, whether if it is LTE or not. Right now here inside of the house, the last speed I did, it gave me almost 7 megabits of download speed. Outside of the house, I usually get 19. I never gone above 20. Only one time here I got 21.7, and that was with Cricket. But now with T-Mobile, outside of the house, I get about 32 megabits of download speed. So that actually confirms that yes, this is a 4G LTE device. Now after a very long time, this is the first phone actually that I have that supports 4G LTE, and it's coming from an international seller. Now this phone also came with many Google applications. As we can notice right there, Play Store was already included, so nothing had to be hacked or customized in order to get it working. This is very similar to the OnePlus One that also came with all the Google applications. As we can notice right here, we got Gmail, Chrome, Google Plus, Maps, and so on. So yes, guys, that's definitely a plus. We don't have to root it or customize it in order to get that working. Now here we're also going to test now the GPS. The GPS on this phone, without questions, is working quite well, and it is expected. But I'm still going to test this, so make sure you guys check the next footage and let me know what you think. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jay, and here we are testing the Asus Zenfone 2 GPS. It is more than obvious to say that this phone has a strong GPS, so we don't even have to question it. It works like this out of the box. And again, guys, we don't have to root it or customize it in order to get it working. This is considered a premium device. I would say a high-end device, so we don't have any questions about the GPS, but of course we're going to test it from inside of the house. And now that we saw the GPS test, here we're going to open the application from inside of the house. And we can see guys that the GPS locked instantly. It takes about 5 to 10 seconds, and again, it is expected. This is a high-end device, so I didn't have any questions about it, and of course we don't have to customize it either. And now the next thing we're going to do here is something that many people have been asking me for, and that's going to be the camera test. On the back we have a 13 megapixel sensor, as I mentioned earlier. On the front it's going to be a 5 megapixel sensor. Now the front facing camera, I was unable to test it, and that's because it's not allowing me to record, unfortunately, as of right now. So I was only able to take pictures, and those pictures have been provided down below on the description. That way you guys can check the quality. But here we're going to be testing the rear facing camera. Make sure you guys check it out and let me know what you think. Hello, what's up guys? This is Jay, and now we are testing here the Asus Zenfone 2 camera. This is the 13 megapixel sensor. Right now it's recording in 1080p. As we can see guys, the quality is very nice as expected. The colors are also nice and vivid as well. And the stabilization of the recording is quite nice, as we can tell. Let me try to get here near an object so that way we can check the focus. And of course, on the description down below, I want you guys to tell me what you think about the camera. Now this is the autofocus without tapping on the screen. As we can see guys, it is instant. And now that we're finished with the camera test here, I just want to show you guys real quick the UI of the camera. Here we tap on this little box, it's going to give us here many options, as we can notice right there. I'm just going to scroll down. We can change it here to beautification for your face if you're using the front facing camera. We also got low light, and of course I have provided some low light pictures on the description down below, so make sure you guys check them out as well. So this camera is giving us a lot of options, and I do like the overall UI. It's very simplistic as well, nothing too crazy. And then here on settings, I'm going to show you all the camera settings that we have available for this device. On this particular model, if you change it here to the max, which is 13 megapixels, it's going to change the ratio. Right now it's at 69 at 10 megapixels, but if you go to the max, which is 13 megapixels, it's going to change the actual picture, so it's going to look more square instead of a rectangle shape. Something that I didn't like, but I think that 10 megapixels is still doing its job very well. So there we can see that the video quality, it goes up to 1080p, which is great. We don't have 4K recording on this particular model. I'm not sure if maybe the upgraded model has the 4K capability. I highly doubt it. I think that all these models are going to be only for 1080p, but that's okay guys, because for the price we really can't ask much from Asus. I think they've already done a great job giving us a great product at a great price. And now with that being said, the next thing we're going to do here now is go ahead and play with some applications and games that I have downloaded on the system, and also applications that came already pre-installed with the actual device, so that way you guys can check the performance and the quality of this phone. Now here for the gaming, as you guys can see, I only downloaded Bolt 8 and some other ones that I usually play with, and that's because again, I'm not a heavy gamer guys. I might do a separate video playing some games with this device. I might not, but take my word for it, this is a high performing device, so you guys are going to be quite satisfied when it comes to the gaming options. So make sure you guys enjoy it. guys, and there we saw some of the performance of this device, and we can notice right there that it is not disappointing whatsoever. The Zenfone UI has a lot of features available right now, as we actually witness right now. It has too many to cover, and some of them I wasn't able to, unfortunately, due to time consuming. And something that I did like was this option that we have for the screen itself. It is called Splendid, and then Splendid is the one that actually allows you to change the color temperature of the screen. So for example, let's say you want it on reading mode, you can change the colors to adjust it to your eyes. We also got vivid mode, and this is where we can increase the colors of the screen and whatnot. Right now I have it on default, but here we can notice, guys, what it does. Right now the temperature, or the color of the temperature, is to the lowest right now. And then we can go to warm colors and whatnot. And now the balance mode here is the one that the phone uses from the box. And then finally we have the customized version, which allows us to change here the saturation of the screen and so on. Now this is a very nice feature to have in order for us to change the color to the way we want to. Not every phone out there offers this option, and I think, guys, that the Zenfone UI is quite amazing if you guys ask me. It has too many features, and again, I couldn't cover them all, unfortunately, but at least you guys can get an overview of how well it works. And also the battery right now is behaving very well. I've been using since this morning this device quite a lot. I charge it to 100%. But I've been doing many tests. I also did another Antutu test benchmark. I did the camera test and so on. And you can actually, guys, determine that this phone has a great battery. Okay, and now here we're going to go ahead and test now the browser with the 4G LTE connectivity, as you guys can see up here. So let's go ahead and open the browser. And right now I have here Panda Wheel opened up. We're going to zoom this page, and we can see, guys, that the zooming option is actually working quite well. It does look a little bit choppy sometimes, but it doesn't happen all of the time, as we can see right there. That could be maybe a small software bug. Let's try here opening, let's say, ebay.com. We're going to see that it is suspected. It's loading quite fast here with the 4G LTE connectivity. Let's try another one. Let's say we want to open youtube.com. There we can see that, again, it's very fast and snappy. Let's try here another one, and it's going to be the last one. Let's say here dhgate.com. The keyboard is also very sensitive. There we can see that once again it was very fast. Now the Wi-Fi does work very well, so here we're going to go ahead and turn it on just so that you guys can see the signal reception on it. I might not have to open the browser on it, because we know that on Wi-Fi it's going to be quite fast, but here, as you guys can see, I'm getting all the bars for the Wi-Fi, which is definitely great on this device as well. And now here, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and connect it with my little Bose speaker here. Let's go ahead and power on, and right now it's going to be on Perry mode. There we go, Perry mode. And now let's go here into the phone settings. Let's jump into the Bluetooth. Let's turn it on, and let's see how fast it's going to read it. This is the first time I pair with the Bluetooth, believe it or not. And now that it has connected, let's go back once here. Let's go into audio settings, and let's check the quality. Now that we have powered off, we're going to test the speaker on the actual device. As I mentioned earlier, the speaker has great sound. Very nice and clear. Also has a little bit of a bass kick to it. Alright, guys, and there we have it for the sound test. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and weight the device. Here I have my little weight scale. Let's go ahead and turn it on, and right now it's going to be in grams by default, and this device is going to be 177 grams. So there we can see that it is not super light and it's not heavy either. It's in between, so I think that the handling on this phone is going to be actually quite comfortable, except for the fact that the power button is on the top And also the bezels here are going to be a little bit thick, so sometimes texting can be a challenge, so you guys have to hold it with 2 hands and then text with both thumbs. I would definitely recommend that method because you guys can run the risk of dropping your device. And then also on the back here, we can notice that we don't have any fingerprints whatsoever. That's because the back is non-glossy. And then the front of the glass is going to be Gorilla Glass number 3, so it's very easy to clean if you guys get some fingerprints on it, and it's also very soft and it feels very nice to actually play with this phone. Also, we got here the YouTube application. I believe I haven't showed you guys that already. I normally do, so that way we can see that everything's working well. Let's go here into my uploads. Let's increase the volume here.
All wild caught with the same great taste.
We can play in 720p, as we can notice right there. Very cool. And the last thing we're going to do here is go ahead and perform a phone call test. We're going to be dialing 611. Here we can see that the UI of the dialer this time is quite different.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Let's get started. Press 1 for English.
We can even record phone calls and whatnot. Now we're going to test the ear speaker. I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but the ear speaker on this phone is very premium. I compare a lot to the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 that I currently have. The ear speaker was amazing. The calls are very nice and loud, and not only loud, but they're also very clear. Almost makes you feel like you're getting HD voice on the phone. And with that being said, guys, I think I have covered enough about this phone. And if you guys, like always, have any questions, please don't forget to comment down below. I'll do my best to answer all of the inquiries that you guys have. Please don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Thanks for watching. Expect more from Maji and Jay, and have a good one.